So I'm talking to Rosemarie Armstrong, who is a really accomplished, energetic, wonderful painter who has a gallery in Shelburne, Ontario, and lives in an old farmhouse as part of that gallery near there. And, I, Rosemarie, looking at your stuff online, your paintings, and reading what you have to say, and then just the back and forth we've had on emails and so on, what really comes to me is the total energy that you put out into everything. I mean, it's just your energy level for me is amazing. Like the amount of work you've done, the shows you've been in, and then it all comes across in the paintings themselves. That they just come to me. I was struggling for a while, and I finally realized what it is that impresses me so much about your paintings, and that is this. It's kind of like action in stillness, is the way I'd put it. It's the drama of an archer's bow when he's at full stretch, but he's still as that, and as full of energy as that. The potent energy of the arrow about to be released, and and yet overall, when I'm looking at your paintings, there's a kind of dreamlike quality to them too. There's something, a landscape or a scene I want to experience in reality, but I can't since my dream. And then suddenly I realize, no, here it is in your painting, right here. If I had it, it would be on my wall, ever present. It'd be wonderful. So, with that, I'm wondering, how did you get started in this kind of work? How did you get started in painting? Like, what was your early experience that got you into it?
Well, first of all, Donato, I have to say thank you for your kind and impressive comments. It makes me a little bit shy. I'm definitely not an introvert, but when I'm a painter, I'm totally engrossed with my work, and I'm not used to people, gushing kind of over it, and that's what makes me a little embarrassed, but I appreciate it anyway. As to the dreamlike quality, I think that's very intentional. But it was a long road to get to painting the way that I paint now. Originally, I sold my first painting at the age of 15 through our local art group called the Orangeville Art Group, which my mother had placed me in along with herself. And my mother was a fine art painter from Czechoslovakia, and later she lived in Germany for a few years as well, and then emigrated to Canada. And I have three siblings, so we all grew up with smell of oil paints in our house because that's what my mom did when we were away at school. She had a small studio later on in life when we were grown, but I guess the most important impression she made was to keep working at it and be persistent.
Sure.
Because early on, most artists that I know are not prolific or proficient at the beginning. They struggle a lot and they try different media. So she helped me to explore that, and also took me to some Georgian college courses to study sculpture, figure drawing, and casting of models with different materials. So I actually did a lot of work early on with figurative and portrait sketching and painting. I still dabble in it a little bit now, but mostly I'm a landscape painter. But anyway, you know how it goes. We all grow up and have kids. And
Yes.
I was kind of busy for a while, but I did paint, and I used to give most of my work away. But then at the age of 35, I met an incredible gentleman from China who invited me to work with him, and I have studied with him off and on for 20 years now. So he probably is my most important influence and mentor, bringing me to the level of work that I'm accomplishing now.
Sure. Who was that name again, please?
Oh, I didn't give you his name. His name is Chow Ming Zheng. He lives now in Coquitlam, Vancouver area, so I have to travel out there every year to see him.
That's wonderful. How do you spell his last name?
Zeng.
Okay. Yep. I got that. That's great.